in order for you to chase after great, you got to let go of good. You can't stay in this place of good here where you're just getting paid, but you hate the work that you do, or you don't like the clients that you work with, or the clients are underpaying you, and so it becomes good. You're just surviving. 2020 has been a year. What a hell of a year for 2020 to be. I genuinely hope that you've taken the best perspective out of 2020. When I look back and, as I'm journaling this morning, I'm really sitting down and reflecting on the bad, the ugly, and then ultimately the good that's come out of 2020. There's been a lot of good. It's forced a lot of people out of business. It's forced a lot of the shifts, the dynamic shifts to move inside of this online game as you and I know it. And it's actually forced a lot of people, including myself, to rethink what it is that we're here to do and rethink what we need to do in order for you and I to continue to succeed. And I've heard of these quotes thrown out across the board from our good man, Tony Robbins. If you're not growing, then you're dying. You're either growing or you're dying. And I really think that 2020 for me in particular was a monumental moment where I need to let go of what I had, which was good, to really give myself permission to chase after great. And what I mean by that is when I look back at 2020, when I look back at 2019, 2018, 2017, all of those reps that I put in to coaching, to understanding business, to understanding the game of advertising, to understanding the game of funnels after spending 2 years with Russell Brunson, understanding the game of selling, understanding the game of coaching, delivery systems, understanding the game of hiring team members and what that actually looks like. It actually gave me a good chance to step back and assess where I was. Now, personally for me, 2020 was not just a transformative year inside of business, letting go of good. And there's this saying that I really believe in, and it becomes more and more prevalent as I go through this process myself, is that everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. And the saying I want to bring up today is that you want to go to this greater place, you want to have a great business, but you're unwilling to let go of the shitty business that you have, and you're unwilling to chop it off. And so what happens is when you're trying to get after great, there's an enormous amount of sacrifice, time, effort, energy, and there's an enormous sacrifice that you're going to need to make with instant gratification. Instant gratification is one of those things that will kill you, and it's one of the things that I've had to work on over the last decade in order to successfully play this longer term game so that the moves that I make today aren't short term. And it's really funny because I have this thing where every day it's become habitual that after the shower I just got on the scales. I've got a digital scale, so it actually logs everything onto my phone, and I jump out of the shower, I get onto the scales, I weigh my weight, and then I'm there. It's there for the phone. It's there for me to look back on over the next quarter, not so much day to day. And what I start to notice is this instant gratification is one of those things where if my weight fluctuates day to day, I have this urge, and let's say I'm up about 2 kilos on a given day, for whatever reason, 1.5 kilos, 2 kilos, there's this urge of instant gratification to do something about it. And there's this urge for me to be thrown. There's this trigger almost for me to be thrown off my course of direction, my plan, and then to go, what the fuck? And then to tackle this thing. And every single day you and I have these triggers and these urges that come inside of our life. So there's a plan that we have to get after great, but then inside of our life, whether or not it's taxes, whether or not it's bills, whether or not it's your advertising accounts getting shut down, whether or not it's a client demanding a refund, whatever it is, there are these different urges that you and I face inside of business. And I truly believe that those who can resist the urge to tackle the instant gratification bandages, the short-term fixes, if you can navigate through that and stick to the long-term plan, you will really succeed. And so I bring this up because the business that you want to build in 2021 almost demands it for it to be great. If you don't have a great business, well, you have a pretty shit life. And there's a very high chance that as a business owner, you'd have a much better life working as an employee. But if you commit to building a great business, you'll have a great life. But a great business begins with great clients. And great clients begins with you actually being able to do great work with the person that you're actually communicating, interacting with, because they paid you the fee that you actually commanded. Once you consider this, if you actually work with bad clients who underpay you, bad clients who underpay you, who expect the world, then ultimately your business is going to be chaotic, and therefore the quality of your life is going to be chaotic. I look at business and life as one and the same thing. Like legitimately, the business conversation is on my mind 7 days a week, 365. There's not a day that I wake up not thinking about it. It's not so much that I'm doing it. It's that it's getting my attention. It's hitting up real estate inside of my mind. Therefore, if I want to live a great quality life, my business has to be great. Therefore, my business is great, my clients are great. So if we sit with this landscape here, if you sit with this entire landscape, the reasons why so many business owners have miserable lives is because they live and work with clients that they hate. Now this is great. And I'm saying what currently is good is that you and I, good, have clients currently paying us. We have clients that are paying us. It doesn't mean that it's great. It's good because we're actually getting paid. We're surviving. According to Maslow's hierarchy of human needs, survival is the very first basic human need that we need to cover. And good gets us surviving. If we're alive, it's a good day. But a part of good doesn't actually allow you to live a great life. Good and great are two completely different things. But in order for you to chase after great, you got to let go of good. You can't stay in this place of good here where you're just getting paid, but you hate the work that you do, or you don't like the clients that you work with, or the clients are underpaying you, and so it becomes good. You're just surviving. In 2021, if you want to be great, it's not another course. You don't need to go through hundreds of hours of different courses giving you theory. You need to actually see how you can apply the theory and the different methods inside of the application for yourself. You need to see clearly. It doesn't matter, like 5 people can learn the exact same thing. 1 person can succeed with it, 4 can fail miserably. And why is that? It's not because they're not actually learning the same thing. It's because the person that's succeeding sees how to apply it inside of their situation. They've gotten the breakthrough. So what you need in 2021 is another course. What you need inside of 2021 isn't another coaching program where people sell you into this high-end group and you're treated as just another number. We see this every single day on social media. We see people bragging about their sales numbers and etc. And all of that's cool. Like, it's great that you're making $100 million a month. It's great that you're making $1 million a month. It's great that you're making 100,000 a month. Who cares? Like, that's good. But if you're treating all your clients like another number, then you're not going to be able to keep them. And so what we got to get into this mindset of is actually stop putting the goalpost as the revenue. It's important. It is really important, but I truly believe that the next important step is the relationship and the end product, the actual testimonial, the reverse the client journey here. We're not trying to get a prospect to a lead to an application to a phone call to sale. That's not the journey. The actual journey is actually sales is halfway through. Now we've actually got to onboard the client. Now we've got to actually train, change their worldview. Now we've got to get them to implement. And then at the end of the day, we've got to get them the result, AKA, how do we know that? Client testimonials. So inside of this landscape, I really think your coaching program or other coaching programs out there put the numbers of sales, and they tend to treat you like a number. It's not their fault. It's just because that's the emphasis that they place. What are your numbers? What are your numbers? What are your numbers? You go into plenty of Facebook groups. This is what you see. What are your numbers? What are your numbers? Here are my numbers. That's all well and good. We look behind the curtain and we see that the success rate of these programs, 5% maximum. How do I know this? I've experienced this. I've experienced this from the consumer's perspective, and I've also experienced this from the coach's perspective. What I started to recognize is every single client that is coming in has different needs. They have different worldviews. They have different belief systems. They can be given a set roadmap on the highest end, but the stories that you have, the beliefs that you have grown up with, your money beliefs, what you believe you're capable of, what you've actually learned, who your mentors have been in the past, all of that dictates whether or not you actually implement the work. What I started to recognize was that in order for me to get to great, I'm going to need to see how you can apply the plan. This is why we moved into the consulting agency model, because every single person has different needs, has a different vision, and with that, you require a somewhat of a very varied plan. Now, it's not your job to be able to put that together. It's my job to be able to see how you can put that together and allow you to step inside of that vision. So moving forward to getting after great, so many people are unwilling to chop good. Like inside of March this year, when I look back and I reflect, I had to let go of good. I had to stop what it is that I was doing. We stopped for about 6 months. I went through this amazing period with Ocean where I could just be a father and I could just reflect and I could write books. And so inside of that, I wrote books. Like literally, like 70 to 100 pages books, not only for Modern Man, not only for the Category King, but then also figuring out how I could help my wife, Carrie, figure out what she wanted to do and who we were going to be moving from 2020 to 2030, that decade-long period. And so I don't say this because I say, oh, look what I've done. I'm saying this because it was difficult for me to let go of good. But 2020, for me, gave me permission to go this. Like literally, I like, it's the same feeling I had in 2014 when I said this, I'm no longer going to work inside of a gym. It's the same feeling inside of 2013 after spending 5 years to get my physiotherapy degree to actually go, I'm not working as a physiotherapist anymore. It's the same feeling inside of 2016 when I had to let go of the gyms that we had and the Pilates studio to go, this, I don't want this. It's being able to let go and chop it off. Had I kept all of those things, and I tried to for a very, very long time, I did. I'm not saying that it wasn't hard. It was hard because there's this thing called scarcity inside of your brain that's gonna tell you to keep it because you can have it all. But guess what it takes? You and I are human beings. As much as brilliant as we are at the very root, we're human beings. We're animals. And so we have a limited amount of resources, energy. And yes, our greatest gift as human beings is the ability for us to imagine and visualize, which allows us to actually think inside of the future. And that's fantastic. But as human beings, we have a limited capacity of energy, thought, energy, action every single day. As human beings, we all experience the emotional cycle of these ups and downs. This is the thing that we navigate. It's truly being able to navigate the downs. Success is all about navigating the downs. It's all about navigating. When I jump on the scale every morning, it's all about navigating. If I go up, what do I do then? Do I stick to the plan or do I fall off the bandwagon? That's it, the end. That's the only two decisions that I can actually make. What do I choose to do right now? Do I stick to the plan or do I actually go and go flip opposite because there was this trigger, the weight went up and I'm like, holy crap, the weight's going up, what do I do now? That's it. And so the emotional spiral actually takes that logical thought away. So what am I saying here? Inside of 2021, you don't need another course, you don't need another coaching program. What you actually need to do is master your skill. What does that mean? Well, you can be in the area of health, you can be in the area of wealth, or you can be in the area of the relationships. If you're in the area of health and you help people transform their bodies, then great. How can you be the best person at that? And how can you showcase those results over and over and over and over again? If you have 10, 20, 30 testimonials, great, get 100, get 200, develop your pathway, figure out why people aren't doing it and how you can do it more better and more effectively. If you're in the area of wealth, figure out how inside of wealth you can actually break that down. Is it advertising? Is it marketing? Is it sales? Is it business systems? Figure out which component that you own. Stop trying to own the whole thing. You're trying to own the fact that I'm going to help you make money and then I'm going to help you invest the money and then I'm going to help you create your retirement plan and then I'm going to help you build your systems. Like it's convoluted and you won't be known for anything. So inside of health, you got to break that down. Which one are you? Men, women? Which one are you? Body composition, your strength, your powerlifting, your CrossFit? What are you? And then figure out how you can be better at that. Like go down that little rabbit hole. It's mastering the expertise. If you're in wealth, figure out, are you an advertising genius that can actually bring in way more leads? Are you a social media brand artist where you can actually get exposure? Are you then a marketing master where you actually build and look at marketing funnels and persuasion and influence? Are you a sales trainer? Do you want to be the best sales trainer in the world? Great, okay, no problem. Are you the best person at building culture, leadership and teams? Are you the best person at processes, creating processes to leverage time? What are you? What are you the best at? There's a very high chance that if you're still stuck in 2020, you haven't actually considered this. You want to be too big, you want to be too broad, and you haven't yet understood that mastering, going down deeper, going down layers deeper, is that, and being known for it, and actually asking yourself, if I want to be the best at this in the world, what do I have to do? What do I need to know? And how can I get testimonials experience? Now, if you're inside of relationships, great, no problem. You can break that down, go deeper. Inside of relationships, are you trying to restore the relationships with somebody and themselves? The relationship with myself is really important. And why do I need this? Why do I need to heal this inner wound, inner child inside of me? Are you in a relationship with your partner, trying to fix divorces and marriages and get them together? A relationship with children? What about singles who are actually going through relationship problems and they genuinely just want to be loved, but now we have apps like Tinder where everything's all fleeting and they actually don't know how to connect at a deeper level. And then once again, go a layer deeper and ask yourself this. Inside of 2021, who do you need to be with the results that you produce such that people spread your message, spread your business word of mouth? You don't need ads, you don't need funnels, you don't need another coaching program. What you'd actually need to do is prove that you're, and prove to yourself and go get the skills and go get the expertise and dive a little bit deeper. Make 2021 the year of mastery. With that being said, reflect on the good. There's always good. There's always good at the end. Sure, your business might have imploded, but heck, consider that your business was just good. And it wasn't the business you really wanted. And you get to go into 2020 with permission to create a fresh start on who you get to become. And that nobody except yourself gets to dictate that. Nobody gets to slap an identity on yourself except you. And if I've gone through this entire journey, like I went through labeled as a personal trainer from 17 to 22. Then I got the label physiotherapist. Then I threw away that label. And then I got labeled gym owner. And then I got labeled business owner. And then I got labeled coaches to fitness coaches. And then I got labeled business coach. And then now inside, I'm establishing this thing as agency owner. It's new labels that you got to give yourself permission to wear, nobody else. If you allow people to put labels on you, that's when you live a very, very bad, unfulfilled life. You get to dictate, you get to control. So make 2021 a fabulous year for you. Reflect on 2020. See the good out of it. There is good. There is a lot of good amongst the bad. The chaos just uproots all of the shit, like going to your garden, digging up all the trees, digging up all the, and it's just starting out with this amazing, fresh patty of nothingness, of just destruction there. So you get to visualize, you get to create, you get permission to go, all right, that's done. What do I get to be in 2021? We'll see you around the corner. See you next year. Bye for now.